Today we're going to be checking out the MATCO Infinium. Been getting asked a lot of questions about their product line and how I feel they work out in the automotive industry and how they compare to the Milwaukee. So today we're going to have a short look and we'll go ahead and talk about it. All right guys, so it's the end of the day. I'm getting ready to head back to the house. I got Tommy and Shane here to give their opinions and weigh in on the Infinium MATCO lineup because I have been getting asked a lot about it. And we all own at least one or two tools. So Shane, you want to go ahead and grab yours and tell us about how long you've had them for and what you like or what have you?
These are the 20 volt units, not 16 or 18. I've had these like 5 years, never had to replace a battery. They never let me down. They charge in less than an hour, full from a dead battery to a full charge. And like I said, they never let me down.
Sweet. Tommy, what kind of Infinium products that you have for those that are just joining us?
Well, I've got this quarter inch that I've had probably, I don't know, 3-4 years now. It works tremendous. I mean, you can see how beat up it is. Charges fairly quickly, as Shane was saying with his, probably 45 minutes to an hour. Yep. The new 3/8 drive, the long, I'm not too terribly impressed with it. Problem is when it's probably about half battery charge, it loses its pull-off torque. And so, but when it's on a full charge, man, the breakaway torque is awesome. But as soon as it gets down to 2 or 3 dots on the battery, it's kind of weak. I don't know if it's because of the length of the ratchet, the more parts that are in it. Not exactly sure. Other than that, I love it. You know, it gets in deep places where I need to be. Works really well for the most part.
Cool. Hey, how's it going everyone? Justin again. As always, thanks for watching my channel. Welcome back. So today we're doing a long-term review of the cordless tools that I have here in front of me. Stay tuned till the end because we're going to be doing a used tool giveaway. Okay, so at the end of this video, I'm going to be explaining to you who exactly is going to be getting one of them for sure. The other one I'm not too sure about. Maybe we'll be picking one of you guys, so stay tuned. So kicking it off first, of all these tools that I have here in front of me, the Milwaukee, the DeWalt, the Milwaukee, the MATCO, we're going to be talking about which ones I've had the longest and what my feelings and overall review are about them. All right, so in front of me you can basically get an idea of which cordless tools that I actually have and I've been using in the industry for quite some time. Some of them are newer than others, some of them are older than others. So in the beginning when I went from air to cordless, I actually ended up picking up the 1/2-inch Milwaukee. Now I was a little bit hesitant at first. If you guys saw some of my earlier videos, you know that I wasn't exactly sure if I wanted to jump on the whole Milwaukee bandwagon. I was still having a great deal of fun with my air impact. It still worked for me. Until I ran into enough annoyance when it came to the air hose and dragging it all around or getting it hooked. It became frustrating and I was like, you know what? I do want to buy a 1/2-inch cordless impact. I don't want to go with Snap-on. I don't want to go with MATCO. I wasn't overall hugely excited about even going with Cornwell when Jeff used to work with Cornwell. So I was like, well, maybe I'll take the plunge and see what Milwaukee's all about. So I ended up going with the Milwaukee Fuel, the 1/2-inch. Had it for a long time. I couldn't tell you. If I had to guess, I'd say I've had it for at least 2 years. And I've been using and abusing it ever since. The number one issue that I've ran into with the Milwaukee is basically the battery slop. When the tool's being used as much as I'm using it, the battery ends up having a lot of slop to the point where it affects the actual tool itself. So you can't actually use it. It freeze in place. The dots on the side will start going nuts, everything else. So we've found many ways to try to get around that and remedy that until we can get batteries warranted. One of them is to throw a zip tie around the tool and the battery. The second one I've seen guys, to include myself, which have wrapped electrical tape around the tool itself. Electrical tape's fairly easy to wipe off and clean off versus some of the other tapes out there like duct tape. Masking tape, I'm not sure how well masking tape would hold up, especially in oily conditions, but electric tape seemed to work out well for me. The second issue that I've had when utilizing the Milwaukee, and I'm not the only one, my boss had the same exact issue. There's obviously a torque setting down here at the bottom, which goes from 1, 2, 3, and then there's like a weird snug button that's just a little tiny arrow that goes in a circle. Well, sometimes your palm or the bottom of your pinky will touch that, and next thing you do, go from 3, right, the nut busting torque, to pretty much no torque. And so that can get frustrating, so you gotta change it. The third issue that I ran into over time was the socket slop. Sometimes there was socket slop because of the snap ring here on the front, but not enough to where the socket would actually come off. You could just see that and feel that it actually slopped up. So that's my experience with the 1/2-inch Milwaukee Fuel M18. The second tool that I picked up was the Milwaukee 3/8 Stubby. I've had this for, God, probably at least a year, maybe a little bit over a year. You can see this tool has definitely seen some use. I've used this tool extensively. It gets into tight spots. It works well. The only problem that I ever ran into with this 3/8 was, again, the battery slopping issue, right? So other than that, the tool has worked phenomenally. You're not accidentally pushing the button or the setting. You can see I've dropped this several times, and it just keeps on working. I haven't had any issues with this snap ring that happens to be on here on the anvil. But like I said, I've probably had that about 6 months to a year less than I have this one. But so far so good, haven't had any issues. The third tool that I picked up, let me slide the DeWalt over, was the 3/8 drive sealed head M12 fuel with the 2.0 amp hour battery. Also brushless, comes with this rubber sleeve that goes over the top. The rubber sleeve can get annoying, right? So one of the issues I had in the beginning was it would slop up. Jeff actually gave me the idea, and I'll show you guys here in a picture down in the corner, was that take a razor blade and create a little slit here where the mechanism goes back and forth. That'll actually give it enough pressure release to where it's not twisting about on you, and you can do that on both sides. You do get a fair amount of oil buildup in here, but I really haven't had any issue where it would affect it. I've used this during transmission pan gasket jobs, removing bell housing bolts. I've used it for suspension, for brakes. I use this extensively, and I put a lot of leverage, probably more than you should, against the battery and the tool itself. Okay, this is the things that we do as mechanics, okay? These are the tests that we actually put it under in the real world setting. So yes, that pressure that I'm applying to the battery is probably what ends up breaking the tabs off on the inside for the cordless ratchet. I'm just telling you what happens here. With the 1/2-inch, you're not doing anything with the battery. It's just the vibration of the impact itself. So the only real issue that I've actually had with this tool is the battery slop itself. But like I said, I'm putting a great deal of leverage on the back end of this handle with the battery. Overall, it's been a pretty phenomenal tool. The RPMs, surprisingly a little bit slower than you would think compared to other cordless tools. And we're getting ready to talk about that. I want to jump ahead of the DeWalt because the DeWalt was the next tool that I actually picked up to do a comparison against the M18. But I want to talk about the ratchet portion itself when it comes to RPM. So the kit that I picked up about a couple months ago, maybe a month and a half ago, was the MATCO Infinium lineup. I bought the 1/4-inch ratchet. Tommy talks about it extensively, says that he loves it. He's had his for years. It's seen its time, and it just keeps kicking butt. One of his issues that he had was as the battery gets down to about 50%, it seems to lose a lot of its power or breakaway torque, and then he has to recharge it. So far so good, but again, this is a relatively new tool and I haven't had those kind of issues. The kit also came with the 3/8 drive impact. This I don't believe is a Stubby. I could be mistaken, but I compared it side by side with the 3/8 Stubby from Milwaukee. You can tell that because of the angle that Milwaukee goes at and how short and stubby this thing actually is, there is a bit of a difference here, okay? Still has a snap ring thing in the front, and my previous experience with these MATCO tools, when I had a 1/4" impact Infinium driver with the maroon or that wine colored plastic tool, you know what I'm talking about? Well, the problem that I had with that was that the ring wore out prematurely and the sockets would actually fly off. Trying to get that replaced by the MATCO rep that I had, honestly, he didn't want to do it. He gave me a snap ring kit. I made an attempt to do it, failed epically, was annoyed, upset, and ended up selling those tools off to somebody on Craigslist. So I decided to go with this route again, primarily for the Ratchet, but basically they're saying get a free tool out of it. So maybe that was the free tool, or they were giving you another battery. I've got 2 batteries with this kit plus a charger. This I ended up buying battery charger kit. This I bought bare tool only, then later bought the batteries with the charger, okay? So you can do your own math at how much these things I paid for. I bought this from Home Depot. I bought the 3/8 drive Ratchet and the impact from Jeff. I bought these from my MATCO rep, and I bought this entire setup kit from Home Depot. Now the DeWalt comes with a battery and a charger in the kit. It also has 3 settings. You got 1, 2, 3 nut busting setting, right? One of the key differences here that I saw is it actually has a tab or a locking tab here at the anvil, okay? A pin style, if you will. I've been using this extensively since February, and I have had 0 issues with it so far. One of the things that I did notice, like Milwaukee, is that the battery has a little bit of slop, okay? But it has not caused an issue as of yet. And I will tell you that when it came to the Milwaukee M18, I didn't have a battery slop issue until my first year of ownership and using it. Then I started having battery issues. I only had to warranty out 2 batteries, and that was pretty much it. Now it's back up and running and works the way that it's supposed to. Okay, the giveaway. So what I'm going to be giving away, because we do like to review tools, use them extensively, and then share our thoughts and opinions about them over long term, I'm going to be giving away the 3/8 drive Stubby impact with the aftermarket battery that we had previously discussed. Now you're asking me probably, didn't you own 2 of those batteries and you bought them? Yes. Problem was the plastic tip broke off the first one when I dropped it the first time. This one I did drop it, but it didn't break off and it still works. We're going to be giving this away actually to Princess Jamie, who has her own YouTube channel, and I'll throw her link down in the description for you if you haven't checked her out. She does welding stuff, she works on Jeeps, she does tool reviews, and she's got Snap-on Toolbox, and she tells you what it is that she actually likes. She uses a lot of Capri tools, so if you have questions about Capri tools, you might reach out to her and ask. Now the 1/2" Milwaukee, this is who I'm trying to decide on who gets this, okay? So I got the 1/2" Milwaukee with 2 M18 batteries and a charger. I'd like to give it away to one of you guys. So put something nice down in the comments. Let me know if you're interested in possibly getting this for free from me, and I'll mail it off to you. And maybe I'll just put it all in a hat, spin it up with some tickets, and then pull a name out randomly. And to whoever wins, we'll incorporate your name into the video, and then you can hit me up on Instagram and send me a message, and I'll get this sent off to you. I understand it's not a new tool. It is a used tool, but it still works, and I think you're going to be happy with it overall. Now, granted, you might not get a warranty because there is no receipt that shows that you bought it, but I'm pretty sure you can get batteries from Home Depot if that's your biggest issue, because that's my biggest issue, is the battery slop. So if that happens to you, you can go buy just the batteries and you should be ready to rock and roll. The charger that I'm going to be sending off with it actually does the M12 and the M18. So if you have M12 tools already, now you got a dual charger, right? You can take that single charger home and take this other one to work. Guys, that's all I have for this video. I hope you enjoyed today's content. Let me know down below, out of all these tools that I have or what you currently have, which one you think is the best value. Let me know how much you enjoy them. Would you buy them again, or would you go with a different brand, knowing what you know about the tool that you bought? That's all I got for this video, guys. Cheers to those of you that have your beers. Put your comments down below. Smash a thumbs up. Share if you want to share. We'll see you guys next time. Deuces.